leading the way.
First here at noon, Cincinnati and the sports world are remembering Pete Rose, who died at 83 last night at his Las Vegas home. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stephen Albritton.
And I'm Kelly Rippin. A memorial for the Reds legend growing at Great American Ballpark today, and that's where we find WLWT News 5 reporter Brian Hamrick leading the way on Rose's legacy and talking to his fans. Brian.
Yeah, Kelly, what was a surprise, I think, to a lot of people. This is an icon of the city of Cincinnati, not unlike Fountain Square or Carew Tower. He meant so much to this town. It's really hard to overstate that. His fans were oftentimes his friends. Today, down here, right in front of the ballpark, you can see there are people out here right now. There have been people out here, really ever since the news broke about the passing of Pete Rose at 83. He was a 17-time All-Star. He had 4,256 hits in his baseball career. They have a wall inside the Hall of Fame there where Pete Rose is in the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame. And it goes up stories, about 3 stories of baseball stacked on top of each other for 10 yards of baseballs. It's a huge display depicting just how many hits that is over his career. He had the most at bats, the most seasons with 200 hits, 3 World Series titles, 2 of them with the Reds. And folks here, a lot of folks that are here and you see come down here, unlike, a baseball player that was famous or a great baseball player or any great athlete, this is a great athlete that not only was arguably the best baseball player, but also was playing in his hometown in front of people who knew him best. And I think that's what made Pete Rose special in this town. And he was banished from baseball in 1989 for gambling. It's all part of his legacy. It's all part of the very complex character that Pete Rose was. And, his fans have a way of understanding that in a way that maybe a lot of the folks who don't live here in Cincinnati wouldn't understand. We talked to one of them a short time ago.
I grew up a Cincinnati fan. I think he was just part of the fabric, right? He just was one of us, one of the city, and the city could live through Pete in a lot of ways and see themselves in Pete on the field and take a lot of pride in that. So I think despite all of his ups and downs, I think he was one of us and took pride in that.
Yeah, and we've heard that from a lot of folks out here. I just talked to a fella who grew up on the west side, played sandlot ball with him, played with his brothers, and he just remembered Pete with that same attitude on the sandlot. He said he just played full out, just like we see the head first slide here, and that was Pete Rose, and that's how he's going to be remembered in this town. Reporting live, Brian Hamrick, WLWT News 5.
Brian, thank you. And of course, we can see people behind Brian stopping by the statue as well. We'll continue to lead the way on remembering the legacy of Pete Rose here in Cincinnati. You can take a look at our archives, the tributes pouring in for the Hit King, all over on our website, WLWT.com.